Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I am back to talk about creating this harmonious space. The thought behind the choice of the bar stools and chairs. So this is going to be some interior design, decorating, and styling tips, tricks, hints, and ideas, space plan that we're going to be talking about on today. So thank you for joining me back here today. And I hope you enjoy this video. And it's some information that you could take along with you, your decorating journey, your interior design journey. As for me, as a designer of interior, doing my home and working also in other people's homes, I often find myself engaged in thoughtful discussions as with my design choices and different things that I am doing in my spaces as well as other spaces, of course, again, that I make for myself. And one of the frequently asked questions for this particular video has been, and I thought I would definitely bring it up in the video because I knew it was going to be a question: why did I choose to do 3 bar stools instead of 4? I know it seems odd, and it is a valid question. While at first glance, the answer may seem very simple about the space, maybe to you about the space. For me, it's far more nuanced than that. In my designs, and with the design of this particular space, especially the ones for me as of now, there are pivotal moments to your home, and the functionality and the flow of the space for me must always, number one priority, be functionality. You can have your pretty, but you have to have your space to function. I love a beautiful space that is, again, aesthetically pleasing to your eye and what you see. But if, again, you don't have functionality, what is it that you have? Just a pretty box. When I was planning this space and the layout of my kitchen, I recognized that technically it was fit for bar stools, especially when you look at the video and the picture of the space, because it is a very vast, huge space. But the decision came overall for me was how I was going to, and others, friends and family alike who would visit, would experience the space, which for me over time has always been the main point for any space that I design and that I want to dwell in. For me, space it's a gathering space for family, your home. Again, it's a feeling. Not only is it a feeling, but it is a space where you come together and you do different things as a family, even with your friends. You want everyone to feel comfortable, mobile. And therefore, I like to create spaces where movement, accessibility are definitely my prioritizations for the essentials, especially for my vision to come to life. So one of the key aspects, this design in this space that I considered, was the flow between the appliances. So in that case and in that respect, you want to think about, when you think about interior design and space planning, when you're doing something like this, because this is what we're focusing on, which is a kitchen island. It's actually a table, but I'm calling it my customized kitchen island. So with that, I wanted to think about seating, but as well with that, I wanted to think about the flow of the space and how a person or anybody would flow throughout the space. So I had to take into consideration the dishwasher, which is in front of me, and the distance that it was between the chair, the table, the whole space, and how you would flow in and out. When you're unloading the dishwasher, for me, it's crucial that you allow the user to be able to seamlessly move about the space. You don't want to be bending over, bumping into a chair, excuse the visuals, or, having to push things out of the way, especially if your hands happen to be wet from washing or doing your dishes, putting them up or bringing them out, and you don't want to be touching your fabrics and different things like that are in your space, or nudging, again, your chairs, moving them out of the way. You want to be very cognizant of things like that. Again, it does go with space planning in your space, where you're going to pull out your nifty tape measure. And you do have to have, or rather you want to consider, again, if you want a properly planned space, the correct distance that you would want to have between like your dishwasher and your table or your island is at the very least 36 inches. That way you have enough distance between, so you don't have to be moving your seating in and out of the way, or your table or your island and bumping into it, even if someone else is crossing your path, happenstance, while you are in the kitchen, because the kitchen is a place where there are multiple people usually, and you have to flow freely. The next thing that I wanted to think about was another component for me, which was major about the layout as well, is again your refrigerator and how accessible that is to your kitchen island in a space. Again, you want ample enough space where you are opening and closing your door, where your body has enough space to free flow between that space, where you don't have to feel like you're having a coddle or you're turning at an angle in order to get the door open. You want to be free flowing in your space. So that was something that I definitely had to consider within this space and how I was going to operate in this space when I did choose to do this particular island for this space, because it is island, because it's floating in the middle of the floor. So with that, I had to think about the space that I was using as well as the seating that was going to be around the space. Now, initially, I did tell you that when I saw the stools, there was 4 stools. Yes, I could have went ahead and bought 4, but why would I do that? And I'm not going to have one around the space. It would just be aesthetically pleasing. It would be pretty, but functionality wise, it just would not work. Not for me. I like to have free flowing, open and airy. You hear me mention that a lot of times in my videos, and what I am specifying with that when I say open and airy is literally that. I like negative space. I have done a video about that before. I like negative space on my walls. I like some negative space around me in the free flow of the area. And I don't like too many things visually for me. This is just a few tips, tricks, hints, and ideas that you could take away for you when you are designing, decorating, or styling your particular space, and things to consider when you are doing your space, especially if you have an open concept kitchen such as this and you want to add something like this in the middle of your floor. Again, I like open and airy, so for me this worked out perfectly after I did all of my measurements from wall distance to the table, even in between each one of the chairs in the space. Now, the next thing that I definitely want to consider for me in functionality is always the people that are going to be coming in and out of my spaces. Now, for me in the past, well, with my life, my daughter that passed away, she was in a wheelchair. And during her life, she dwelled in a wheelchair because she cannot walk on her own. So she had to use a wheelchair. We had to use a wheelchair getting her in and out of spaces. So it started way back then when I first had my daughter. I had to consider those things in whatever home I was in, whether that was an apartment or that was a house. So I had to definitely space plan and make necessary adjustments for that, as well as friends and family alike that I have known throughout the years that had other disabilities. So I take that into consideration when I am doing my spaces, because I myself prefer a space, again, that is functional. So anybody who comes into my space, they don't feel like they are being bothersome because they are in a wheelchair or they are on crutches or they have a cane, whatever that mobile disability may be. You want them to feel just as comfortable as everyone else who is walking in and out of the space. You don't want to make them feel like they are impeding on your space. They should be able to come in the kitchen and access the sink just the same, the refrigerator just the same, and they should be able to free flow in the space, especially if you're having a gathering with your family and friends, because where's the space that most people gather? In the kitchen. So in this instance, I like to think of those particular things when I am designing or incorporating different things in a space, such as kitchen islands, kitchen tables, in an open floor plan space such as this. So that is my thinking why I chose 3 chairs for this space instead of 4, because on the other side of here of the actual table, my custom DIY island, is the refrigerator. Again, that would have been an impediment in the space. I did not want that. Yes, it would have looked pretty, and when there's no one there except for me, would it look pretty? Yes, of course, but still, I'm here. I don't want to be bumping into it. So I consider those things whenever I am designing a space. So with everything that I do in my designs, in my interior designs, in my decorating, and in my styling, I want them to be well done. I want them to be pretty, but for the most part, I want my spaces to be able to accommodate the people that are going to be in the spaces. I want you to let my choice of chairs serve as a reminder for you that the thought in design is not merely again about pretty, meeting your eye with eye candy, but it is also envisioning and giving a space for your family and friends, warm accessibility, and is fostering a sense of belonging for everyone who enters your space. Again, an experience for your home, for your family and friends. So again, thank you all for always allowing me into your homes to watch my videos. And as always, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has shown such love in the past video regarding this kitchen makeover or this kitchen makeup, which was never made over to begin with. So again, thank you all for joining me. Stay inspired, motivated, and keep moving, creating something beautiful, if not for yourself, and definitely for someone else. This has been Chanel. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and definitely hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you all for the next one. Bye for now.